I think we're going live. We're going live now. It's like it's live streaming to YouTube. Let me get on my computer as well. Yeah, everyone, welcome back to our abundance reading. Today is our day 119, and we are continuing our fifth book. Let me show you. If you followed us before, and this is our fifth book by Oprah Winfrey. This is the Wisdom of Sundays. I hope you can see the title. Not very dark, and this is like a life-changing insights from Super Soul Conversations by Oprah Winfrey with her illuminators that she interviewed on Super Sunday. This is her #1 New York bestseller, and now we are already on, let's say, page 164, chapter 8 about grace and gratitude. This movement, abundance reading, we've been doing this from day 1 of 2023 and continually for 365 days. And we really want to continue this because it's such a joyful, I feel like it's fulfilling kind of a journey. It's like every day, this is feeding our mind, feeding our heart, and also feeding our soul. So, and especially this is help us to grow while we also contributing to this world. So it's definitely one of my best highlights of the day. And by the way, today's Saturday. I just got home. I can say I have not changed my coat. It's crazy. Like now, New York is still almost this week. Only today is like 53 degrees or feeling like colder. It's like we get into springtime, then we're getting back to a little bit of winter time already. It's like many people are wearing a coat again, right? We're super happy. We turned off the heating and start to wear short sleeves. And now the winter is coming back. Gosh, this is like a global warming, guys. Really pay more attention to our environment, right? Today I told my kids, eat less beef. And also like pay attention to use less plastics, all those kind of ways, whatever we could save energy, right? Save energy, whichever way you can do, like at home, in your working place, wherever you can save energy. If you can walk, you can any other ways, right? Save the energy consuming of the whole world and help us to like really reduce this kind of speed of global warming. We definitely need like some normal weather, and this is super concerned for our next generations, right? And this is like Arctic, all the snows are melting, and quite some coast cities will disappear. Can you imagine that? Maybe Hawaii, right? Hawaii will definitely become like smaller when and some other cities like let's say Hawaii or Miami, like Florida, something like south or by the coast cities, they could slowly disappear. Last time I visited the Fire Island on Long Island, I was wondering like those people, the houses exactly by the beach, it's very dangerous, right? So pray for everybody, pray for our earth, pray for our humans, or like wake up and take some measures, right? Connective measures to contribute to our world, to this natural universe, our nature. Okay, come back to by the way, today I made some progress and we finally submitted our passport. I waited 2 hours now. Can you imagine that, walking 2 hours? Because Saturday, I want to do that Saturday, so kids do not need to, like during the work days, delay their study. And thank God it's done. At least we submitted. And now let's get back to reading. I'm super happy that after we come back from a kids painting class, the first thing I want to do, I told the kids, I need to read. I want to get on the live to get this reading down before I do other chores or other like weekends, other things. So let's get back to 164. And this year we plan every month we will at least read one book. And like a total year is like 12 months, right? At least 12 great books on personal development and also business success. So we are here for myself, entrepreneur, and I'm here to empower other entrepreneurs become a abundant self, and also at the same time do what you love and create a great business based on your ideal niche to transform more other people's lives. Become the confident expert and also thought leader in your ideal niche. Okay, so that's what we are here. Grow together. All right. So now let's read this page. And now I'm in my bedroom. The light is not okay. So Oprah from Gretchen Rubin and Oprah. Oprah asked, do you think that being happier made you a more soulful, connected, spiritual person? Which one is that? It's a chick or or egg, right? Which one is first? Gretchen said, 100%. I was the least mindful person on the planet, and working on it like this really helped me connect to a more spiritual way of living. Oprah said, it seems like also living a life that allows you to be better than before, living a life where happiness and mindfulness is at the core of your center. It would bring you to a greater sense of awareness and fulfillment and gratitude, like you would live in the space of gratitude. More and more, actually, this week we are talking about this chapter, whole chapter 8, right? It's about grace and gratitude. I just feel like now every day, every moment now, I feel that consciousness, I'm in that gratitude mode. It's really like a very conscious and it's amazing. So reading definitely helped me as well. I would say that the previous I was already quite conscious, but every day's reading, this kind of a consistent habit definitely help, because every day you are feeding your like a body with nutrition, but also at the same time in your mind, your spirit needs that continuous feeding. Like you eat 3 meals, right? If I skip one meal, I feel like I'm very uncomfortable, right? Can you like three meals a whole day if you're on a fast, right? It's definitely not a very comfortable experience if you've never done that. But then now, if you are not feeding your mind, your soul for many, many days, think about that kind of it's just like your mind, your soul could be like the spring, like the sprout, right? It could wither without the nutrition. So we need to feed it every day. Now it's from Zheng Archer. It's being found that if you wake up every morning and practice saying 3 things you are grateful for, they have to be new each day. By doing this for 21 days, even people who were testing as the low-level pessimists on average were now testing as low-level optimists. Now that doesn't sound that huge, but here's the amazing thing. We can do this with 84 years old men with genes for pessimism. Not that all 84-year-old men are pessimists, but we found some that were. And if you do this for 21 days, that we find is that even if you practice the pessimism for 8 decades of your life, even if you were born with genes for pessimism, when people practice this, I would never guess before this research that literally 2 minutes could trump your genes and your environment. They sound like tips or tricks, but they are actually the building blocks of how human beings can change. This is amazing, right? 84 years old, let me remember this. And every day, just 2 minutes. Every morning, wake up every morning, practice saying 3 things you're grateful for. I actually do this every night time. This is amazing, like based on the research, right? They change your genes, change your DNAs, can really turn pessimistic person into optimistic. That's amazing. Okay, so let me put this. It's definitely a great case to refer to. And so if some of you think like, actually today I was talking with other people, I said that human beings are like have a big unlimited potential. Many people think they are normal, right? Oh, they are like, I'm just this. I do not have a big motivation. I do not have a big dreams. They just want to stay in this comfort zone. But at the same time, they admit that it's like everybody's changeable. If you really, really do this kind of practice, gratitude practice even, this is a very basic one, can really change your life from whatever level of pessimist to really optimist. So this is amazing transformation. Next one from Marie Forlero. Many of us think that in order to find our passion, we have to look outside of ourselves. But I've learned that the secret, ironically, to finding your passion is to start bringing passion to everything you do. That's good. Finding your passion is to start bringing passion to everything you do instead of finding it, but start bringing that passion to everything you do. That means like it's created inside from you, within you. Okay, do not need to search outside everywhere. And I do mean everything. So no matter what task is in front of you, bring as much enthusiasm and energy to it as you possibly can, even though you're doing something you may not like, right? There are so many jobs, people say, oh, I don't like it at all. But now pretend that this is your best blessing and you're doing this for God. And they say, bring some enthusiasm and energy. Maybe you're doing this for your family, right? Think about from whatever angle could bring you more passion in it. Whether you are making the bed, brushing your teeth, or cleaning the cat box, do it like you really want to do. This one habit can change everything because we humans are creators of habits. We can be complaining and miserable 90% of your day and expect to feel passionate the other 10%. The willingness to take responsibility for your experience on a moment-to-moment basis is what we are missing. Okay, willingness to take responsibility for your experience on a moment-to-moment basis is what we are missing. This kind of willingness and responsibility. Most of us don't realize that passion is an inside job. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. Very interesting. I actually like this kind of a perspective very much. Marie Fornell, I remember I followed her quite some time. She's also based in New York. It's great influencer and also like thought leader. And here I love what she experienced, like the passion, like it's an inside job and it's also the muscle. It could be built. It's not like somebody born with passion, maybe by character. Some people may be more extrovert and some may be more introvert. But the passion part could be developed, could be cultivated. So this is like a great hope for everybody, right? Just like a practice, you go to gym, practice and do the workout and practice your muscle and strengthen your muscle. But if every day you are practice how to bring the passion into things you're doing, and the more you accumulate more passions. So that's definitely a great one. Now, the next one is from Russell Simmons. Well, I think the stuff really teaches you and you can learn it. People who are really rich have big struggles because they keep wanting more and more. Who do you feel that? The more money you have, the more you want, and you always feel like you're lack of money, right? And the people who are really poor are told they need more. And so that causes the same kind of suffering. People in the middle ground, sometimes I think the research says they are usually happier because they kind of let go of it, instead of people get more satisfied or content. I remember there's a statistics that how much money, right? By earning how much money you could get satisfied, you will be happy. And based on research, I remember in the US, average is a little bit around $100,000, something like that. So it's just a humble six figure, and the families could become content. And you adding more money on that stuff, like that money can cover your basic living and basic basic needs, right? And also a little bit like say a little bit traveling, or a little bit like eating outside, dining outside, have some events outside. So majority of people get satisfied. Adding more and extra money, and that happiness will not increase much. So very interesting research. And then never really associate their life with the stuff or the lack of stuff, but it's comfortable seat, right? What we want in life is a comfortable seat. And that's what they mean when they say operate from abundance, or, this idea of being awake and happy can only happen in the present moment. Okay. Present moment. So operate from abundance. This is like a project for every day, operate from abundance. Like today, for example, every day actually, you can unavoidably meet some like negative people, negative thing, right? And then I remember I share some good things and people say, oh, you're sharing too much. Some people may complain that you share too much. And you can always, whatever like your intention, great stuff, you just bring to the world. Don't expect 100% will be gratitude, right? There's always some like negative, nastiers or whatever from their angle, narrow-minded or whatever. They do not appreciate it. So how do we deal with that? Always operate from abundance and appreciate that God and bring me and even though one person or two persons, they may not satisfy it, they may not like it, but other people, maybe there's even from 100 people, there's one somebody get inspired, right? They get maybe thankful for this kind of a resource you share, you feel so grateful, right? We're not here to please all the people, but we are here just to serve, to contribute to those who are blessed to receive this blessing, right? It's just like a mutual blessing, right? It's totally wonderful wisdom here. Okay, let's read the next one from Lynn Twist. Oprah asked, you say that if we explain our relationship with money or explore our relationship with money, we can have this as a spiritual practice that leads to wholeness and fullness in every other area of our life. Interesting, right? Explore relationship with money. And that's like as a spiritual practice. But when you say, everyone, let's explore your relationship with money, people start with what they don't have, I think. Lynn Twist said, yes, they start with give me more. Everybody's just like in lack of money, right? Oprah said, but by the way, if you bring money to anybody, nobody will complain that you're giving them too much. Do you believe that? If you give people money. But instead, if you're giving them a wisdom, giving them inspirations, sometimes different people will say, oh, that's too much. Did you get that? Okay. What would bring me great joy is to know that after our conversation today, people would take that question, what is my relationship with money? Seriously, and look at that. What are the questions one needs to ask oneself? Lynn said, well, one needs to look at what bounty and blessings have I reviewed from the universe that I want to acknowledge and celebrate. What do I want to celebrate about today? What happened today that I can celebrate, that I can be grateful for, rather than waking up in the morning with I don't get enough sleep and going to bed at night with I didn't get enough done, which is bookending your day with scarcity. See that? Very important, right? In the morning and nighttime. The morning when you get up, the first thing, what do you think? Get to gratitude. And the nighttime when you before you go to sleep, what's the last thing you should think? Gratitude. Don't be trapped into that scarcity, right? Don't say, oh, I did not do this, I did not do that, I did not get this, I did not get that, right? But instead, focus on what you can be grateful. Like today, there are some like negative things there, but I focused on, for example, today is a big rain. And I waited, let's say, like from negative, normal angle to perspective things, right? It's just like, I'm in the rain. We went in the rain, drive half an hour, went to the post office. I get up early. I waited for 2 hours. Finally get our turn. I finally get down. I spent over $400 for just 2 passports. Everything is so expensive, right? It's like da. And also like dad drove kids and during the way, and they saw the car crash, like 4 car crash, big crash during the rain, and it's a Saturday time. Right? You could find all the negative things, but at the same time, if you learn, if you open your wisdom, if you really get develop your wisdom perspective, abundance wisdom, right? Then you will look at a totally different angle. Wow, today I waited 2 hours there, but I met some interesting people. I made new friends. We exchanged contact. We had a pleasant conversation. So I made a new friend on the spot. And I was so grateful. The post office staff, they're so organized, they're so helpful, they're so really like patient. I really love that, right? They try to serve most of the people who get there to wait. And even for those who came in later, it's like beyond the time, right? Could not serve them. And they still politely write down their contact to tell them that maybe if we still have the time before that, we will call you. You do not need to wait here. You can wait in your car. Such a thoughtful, I was very grateful for them. And then yes, we get a passport done, right? We get like expedited like speed. We paid more on to get it done earlier. So and today I also talked with my travel agent and to book our international flight. And we're planning we go to Dubai and then go back to China, all this kind of thing, right? It's like, oh, if you look at it, it's like we are making progress. And I'm super happy. I told kids that we're making progress. See, all depends on which way you look. Any one thing you could, if you look from a different angle, you could find positivity or you find negativity. Okay, so anything I would say. Okay, now Oprah said, yes, I think this is interesting for us to think about how many times a day that tape plays of not enough, not just in money. How many times the not enough shows up? How many of you? Let me think. Not enough, not enough. I could not fully remember where did I get that. So maybe that's a good sign for me that I've already get more, tuned into an abundance frequency. But if you can still remember what you complain about today, not enough, you can definitely count it. Okay. Lynn said, but what if we woke up in the morning and were so grateful for the sweet territory of silence and sleep? Oprah said, oh, I love that. Hold on a moment. The sweet territory of silence and sleep. Oh, I like that. Go ahead. Okay. The sweet territory of silence and sleep. That's like a divine space. Oh, okay. I can put this here. Divine space to be appreciated, even though you have nothing to be grateful. But when you wake up, right, there's like that sweet territory of silence and sleep. That's beautiful already. Lynn said, and you can wake up that way. You can actually tell yourself to do that. The mind is very obedient, even if it's just 4 hours. The sweet territory of silence and sleep, and be grateful for that. And then at the end of the day, rather than looking at what didn't get done, that's going to dribble over into tomorrow, which is where we mostly end up each day. By the way, if you put some like a list there, who really every day can promise that you finish everything? Sometimes like imagine that a busy parents, right? I'm not a single parent. How many things are 2 businesses and 2 kids, teenager kids that have many projects and everything, right? And the house chores. If I put on a list, I have dozens of it. If I count, this day, so many I did not accomplish, I will drive myself crazy because definitely every day I have left over. I have the things I did not get done. To look at what I accomplished today, what I celebrate today. Every day is such a blessing. I have a wonderful teacher now, Father David Standor Rust. So he's a fantastic Benedictine monk, and he's the icon of gratefulness. And he says that gratefulness is the experience of the gratefulness of life. And when you are in the great full of anything of life, the bowl of life is so full, it's almost overflowing, but not quite. That's actually, in our words, like abundance, not yet dripping over the edges. And you are one with God, one with the universe, and there is no other when you stand in and live in the gratefulness of life. And that gratefulness is so powerful that it overflows into a fountain in the bowl of life. I love the fountains and overflows. Okay. And that puts you in the other branch of gratitude he calls Thanksgiving. And when you are in the branch of gratitude called Thanksgiving, the bowl of life is overflowing. And you are so grateful that there's another, because all you want to do is give and share and serve and contribute. Okay, I love those words, like give, share, serve, and contribute. And that's so fulfilling. Say how you can get fulfilling. It puts you back in the gratefulness of life. So how you could feel like fulfilling when you are doing things that is give, to share, to serve, and to contribute. Those things are fulfilling. So you can live in that cycle. You can actually live in that cycle no matter your financial circumstances. That's true, okay? You can live in abundance, but not no matter your financial circumstances. Doesn't matter how much money you have. You can still live in abundant state. Okay, in that circle. You can actually live in that circle no matter your financial circumstances. And I say that people who stand in this context of enough, sufficiency that overflows into natural true abundance. Okay, natural true abundance are the people who are living a life that really matters. You will feel life is more meaningful And when people are around them, they feel valued, they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel loved, they feel treated with reverence and respect. And that's the source of our prosperity. I love that. The source of our prosperity. Okay. Your prosperity is really from that kind of value, that kind of service, that kind of contribution you bring to other people. When you make other people feel like loved, feel like heard, feel respected, feel like really like valued, that's really a source of your prosperity. That's really the source of it, the word wealth. How do you think about the wealth? Wealth is not just money, okay? It's not just measured by money. The etymology of its well-being. And each of us has a well of being that is infinite. That's the source of our wealth. That's true wealth. That's true wealth. I remember Tony Robbins also in his book, Money Master Game, another mindset, it's money, the past, right? And he also mentioned about this true wealth. The true wealth is what? The true wealth is really inside when you have the grace and gratitude. And that's also the real source is the wealth. Okay, our well-being, our source, and our wealth, and the natural true abundance. All this kind of like when people are around you, if they can feel valued, seen, heard, loved, and treated with reverence and respect, that's a blessing actually to both sides, right? That's a blessing of wealth and prosperity to both sides. Beautiful. Now, next one is Louis Schwartzberger. Louis Schwartzberger. I did a TED talk about nature and beauty. And when they posted, it kind of hung there for a while, and then boom, it went viral. I really had no idea it would do that, but I think it resonated with people. I think there is a hunger out there where people want to connect to something that's bigger than themselves. Hunger. Okay, and people want to connect to something that's bigger than themselves. All the people are like, that's why people, for example, people are motivated by leadership. People want to follow those ones who are wealthy, right? Who have rich, who have money, and also people want to follow those people who has knowledge, who has the power, who has the strength, right? A courage, or people are who really entertaining, who has a humor or has fun. So people want to follow those outstanding kind of resources, something bigger than themselves, something that if they could not do it, they would admire that and they want to follow it. So I think through the portal of nature, it can open your heart and you can develop a gratitude for the little things in life. It's so easy to be grateful for a flower, for a bug, for a beautiful day. Yes. Even for today, it's raining. I told the kids, we got a free car wash. We can always thankful, right? Oprah said, yes, this is what I've come to know. What nature is our greatest spiritual teacher. So that nature is our greatest spiritual teacher. I totally agree with that. My God, the spirit is so around everywhere inside of nature. I love nature. I see God as part of nature and nature as an expression of God. I love this kind of expression. God as part of nature and nature as an expression of God. And God is the whole universe, right? And the nature is part of the universe, expression of God and the universe. I see it all intertwined. So what has nature taught you? Louis said, oh, it is God, because it is personified. And to be able to capture it, and the way I do it with a camera and time lapse and slow motion, I'm able to unveil the mystery of nature and make the invisible visible, unveiling the mysterious of life. Ooh, I love that. Sounds like he's doing something like a documentary, right? Catch nature in the slow mode. I remember I watched some of those documentaries. I love that in the Science Center. Now, next one is Norman Lear. Oprah said, you say if you had one image of God, it would be thank you spelled out. One image of God, it would be thank you spelled out. Oh my God, I just felt like every day now, I have so many thank you, God. And for example, today we fulfilled the family submitted our subway, our passport application, right? Because it's so difficult now. And because of pandemic, now post the pandemic, everything slowed down and you need to make appointment and it's so difficult to get appointment and you have to wait, everything, and you have to pay more. But today we submitted. I feel like so grateful. And whenever I can park a place, I thank God. Whenever it's just like when the things just like, folded to us, I thank God. And sometimes maybe the hard lesson, right? Like yesterday I mentioned about my son's bike car accident. I'm also so grateful. So like yesterday we mentioned about the expandable. Gratitude, it could be expandable. Anything. Sounds like initially sounds like an activity can turn out into grateful things. Okay, so it's like the one image of God, it would be thank you. That's so wonderful. Lomanier said, yes, because of my friend Martin Marty, a great theologian at the University of Chicago for a great many years. I was walking with him in Vermont one day and asked him, Marty, what is the shortest description of worship you can give me? He said, one word, Norman, gratitude. That's true. The shortest description of worship. And I remember every day, whenever we turn on our car's engine, we were driving, we always listen to the music. Is worship, the worship station. What's it called? It's like Air One worship. We love it. Okay, so only one word is gratitude. Worship is gratitude. Yeah, it's like all this kind of gratitude you want to express to God when you worship it. It has always felt that way to me. I love that. I love that it's explain worship to be gratitude. I really am. The more worship I'm doing, the more grateful I am. And the more grateful I am, the more I'm in that worship kind of a state. So this is beautiful. Wow. Congratulations, everybody. I don't know how long we read, but we finished the chapter 8. Yeah. Gratitude for the celebration, right? And tomorrow, I think I want to end here. And tomorrow we will continue on the chapter 9, fulfillment. Oh, by the way, this week, because I'm reading, this is the second book of this book, this week, is this month. I finished Oprah Winfrey's another book, the past made clear about the life direction and purpose, discovering life direction and purpose. Let me see this book. How many we? Today's what? Today's 29th, right? So this month we have only one more day left. So it sounds like we cannot finish the whole book totally within April. So let's say maybe just May 1st or May 2nd, we can finish it, okay? So no rush. Let's fully appreciate and enjoy the reading. Tomorrow we will go to chapter 9 for fulfillment. That's a wonderful chapter. So I hope today, what's the best that you get? And by the way, if you are like a subscriber to our YouTube, it's great for you. You can enjoy the whole journey. And at the same time, I also go to my Instagram to do like a quick summary. Just a quick for people, just for a few minutes. Maybe some people miss the whole story. I can just share with them what we shared. Okay, like today, reading, summarize what's the highlights of today. Those things I underlined. All right, thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's sharing or reading time as well. This is like to me the graceful and gratitude time. I hope you enjoyed as well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will meet you every day here for the abundance reading. This is a wonderful journey, not just reading, but also wisdom and self-growth, and for us to unfold what life is really meant for us. Okay, everyone, take good care. Bye-bye.